The two studies just came out, one from China, one from the UK. What they did is once they reopened their country, they started to look at the teachers and the parents, and they saw that 1 in 5 kids who didn't have an existing problem now does. So that means we do, Gino, have to get a handle on this. And the first thing we do is look at what signs of anxiety are so we can help our kids. There's numbers of them, but you're looking for a change in your child's normal behavior, a sleep disturbance that keeps going. He continues to want reassurance. Used to be Little Miss Sunshine, but now she's just really hanging onto you for life. Avoiding certain areas. Right now, a lot of the kids that I'm seeing are afraid to go outside, afraid to even open the window. That's avoiding. They're also acting out. One of the things that's a clue is kids' behavior. They can't express their concerns, but they act out on their concerns. So there's temper tantrums and meltdowns, maybe another issue. Clinginess could be one. They're always seeking the physical support. You're seeing that a lot of those headaches and stomach aches could also be an issue. Regression. This is a really big one because maybe you thought that bedwetting had stopped last year. All of a sudden it returned. Or the fingernail biting, that's again returning. They regress to a former stage, and it all means whether they're moody, they're irritable, they're angry. It doesn't mean that they're going to go up and say, Mom, I'm suffering from anxiety. It means we've got to track it and know what to do. And your first thing on this is to encourage your child to verbalize the fear. You can't talk them out of the fear. Please don't, because it's real to the child. But we do know is if you can put a word to the anxiety, here's how I feel, it actually starts to reduce it. So what you want to be is the support system to catch the worry before it increases. And some kids don't have those words in their little repertoire. For teens, you can actually just print out a whole thing of chart of all different kinds of emotions. There are little emojis, but they can actually point to it. Or you can ask kids on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is like a cloud breezing by, and 10 is you feel like a volcano about to explode. How do you feel? If your child says he's a 10 or an 8 or a 7, any of that is a gold mine, because now you can start to teach him coping strategies, and that's the exact thing you're trying to do. Your first thing is watch out, because your behavior can increase the anxiety or reduce it. We know that. You can support your child, but please don't be having your child be too dependent on you. So you protect them too much, because kids who feel control over their lives actually are better off in handling this. They can cope and they're able to thrive. So you want to reassure in their safety. You want to turn down that dismal news. You want to be calm yourself. But you also want to begin to teach them some coping strategies. 2 that I think are absolutely glorious. I know they work because I learned them from Navy SEALs when I worked on Army bases. The first thing is a SEAL says that what they do is chunk their fear. They don't try to get through the whole battle. They try to get through the first second, then the second second, then the third second. If they think of the whole fear, they're overwhelmed by it. That's the same with our kids. Right now, they're so afraid of, many of them, going outside. So don't try to push them out overnight. Instead, you do it at the baby step model. Let's open up the window tonight. Let's put our toe out the door the next night. Slowly walk your way until maybe by the end of the week they can get to the street. Whatever the fear is, chunk it. The other thing that seems to be a gold mine is helping your child learn some kind of a healthy affirmation he could say to counter all the negative things he's saying internally about that fear. And what actually, again, Navy SEALs do is they find one positive statement, like I can do this, or I got this, or it's going to be okay. It doesn't make any difference what the statement is. But one of the best ways we now know to teach kids a statement is for an adult to model it to the child. So you can pretend and say, you know what, I'm having a really tough time, so I'm just going to say, I can do it, I can do it. And pretty soon, if you keep saying the statement, your voice becomes your child's inner voice. He starts to use the statement, and what'll happen, he'll start to just downplay that anxiety that's overriding him, and as a result, he'll have a coping strategy he can use the rest of his life.